It has been approved in Japan, the ability to mix animal and human DNA, therefore splicing it and creating animal-human hybrids that are allowed to come to term.
When Keith McAllister opened the door, the MRI machine started reacting to the 20-pound chain around his neck. The machine started pulling Keith into the machine.
Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. In today's video, we'll look at some creepy and interesting TikToks that'll make you question everything. And before we dive in, be sure to hit the sub button. Let's get it.
So now you're telling me that it has been approved in Japan, the ability to mix animal and human DNA, therefore splicing it and creating animal-human hybrids that are allowed to come to term. Now I'm going to let you marinate that for just a second. Are you good? Are we ready to cook this chicken? Now, the reason behind it is supposed to potentially help with human organ donors and transplants. Therefore, if you needed a heart, a liver, a lung, a kidney, you would have access to that quicker, because if you know anything about that, it is a very lengthy process and a very challenging one for those who need organs. But there are some huge red flags and a lot of skepticism attached to it because they're not entirely sure what the human cells will potentially do to the animal brain. And then there's also the whole thing of religion. I swear every day I wake up, I'm like, what sci-fi movie did I just get a starring role on? What timeline did we just jump on? What universe are we currently residing in? So what do you think? Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Let me know, put it in the comments. And obviously this is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only, but we need to talk about this.
This doesn't apply to all scientists, but some of those guys need to read a book on how to be productive because this idea is not it.
This is like something out of a Final Destination movie, but it happened in real life. It all went down this past Wednesday afternoon at 4:30 when 911 gets a call for an emergency at NASA Open MRI in Westbury, New York. 61-year-old Keith McAllister had brought his wife Adrian in for an MRI of her knee. Here's where the story starts to differ. Adrian says the technician brought Keith into the room so that he could help her get out of the machine. The employees say Adrian started to shout out for help, which caused Keith to come running into the room. Employees say they were telling him not to open the door because the machine was in use, but he entered regardless. Either way, when Keith McAllister opened the door, the MRI machine started reacting to the 20-pound chain around his neck. The machine started pulling Keith into the machine, choking him. The chain had a large lock on the end, so they weren't able to get it off. And the technician and Adrian tried pulling him away from the machine, but they were unable. Adrian says her husband waved goodbye, and his body went limp in her arms. Keith was then transferred to a local hospital, but died the next day after succumbing to his injuries.
Teapots, did y'all hear about this crazy story that just dropped today? Like, this story is like straight out of a Lifetime movie. If you know, you know. Yeah, so basically, this couple right here decided to have a baby factory in this big old house in California. They had over 21 children. 17 of them was toddlers. The age ranges was from 2 to 13. Basically like packed in a room like a daycare, but it's way worse. So basically they was using surrogate mothers across the country to carry the babies, of course, and put them up for adoption. But they didn't do that. They were trying to legally keep the babies. Now some moms are coming forward. And now the moms are seeking legal custody for their babies that they thought was going up for adoption. But all those children are now in CPS care. And this whole thing unraveled because this sick nanny who's now on a run decided to shake a 2-year-old baby so bad that the baby had to go to the hospital with a severe head injury. Like, this is crazy, teapots. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Please like, follow, and share. I'm T with Erica, and I'll see you guys on the next spill. I'm out.
I ain't gonna lie. Don't it look like it's some They Clone Tyrone shit going on in First of all, it's abandoned, allegedly. And then, like, it don't got the regular boards. And look at the door. Look at the door. That one vault door for real, gang. Nah, bro, it gotta be something up under here, fool. Look at that hill and shit, cuz, fool. Like, I know I'm not tripping, fool. My mama could, fool. For real, fool. There's some shit going on. And we're in the middle of the trenches. Like, oh, God. We're in the middle of the trenches. Like, what the... Hey, 5,000 likes when I'm going in there. Alright, y'all. I said 5K likes and we going in this. 5K likes, we going in this month. Oh shit, that mother. Ooh, I was scared, fool. It say door not opening. Let me knock on that. Damn, it hard. Oh my. Oh shit. They got a lab in them, gang. Well, look, let's take the backyard out. We at the back of them, gang. All right. Let's see what this is. Gotta be a way in. Gotta be. So I just spoke with the locals. They said that the bank foreclosed on it years ago. Update. This
It's probably meant to look abandoned during the daytime, but at night things probably get hectic.
was foreclosed 20 years ago. Damn. And they said it's been like that since. So y'all, tell me what y'all think, bro. Hey, if this shit gain traction for real, y'all, I'm gonna come right back to this and we gonna break in. And y'all, look at the chimney on this junk. This look like a brand new chimney. And I seen that somebody pointed out in the comments that this roof looks awfully new for it to be foreclosed 20 years ago, gang. So look, y'all run this shit up. I'm gonna come back tomorrow or in 2 days and see if we can get in through the back way, because I did see that little railing. On God, I'm bringing a crowbar. Oh yeah, and before I leave, what y'all think of this hill though? It's just a random hill. Just a random hill. On God. Why? Why is there just a random hill? Random as hell.
So the CEO of Roblox wants to start implementing a dating program in his game, meaning that he wants the availability of all adults who play Roblox. Let me repeat that again, just so I can give you an idea of how stupid this man is. Adults who play Roblox. Yes, those are words that left my lips. We all know Roblox is a children's game. We all know that children play Roblox. So why would we want to implement a dating side to this? Only a sick, twisted individual would do something like this. It's like, am I the only one who's thinking about the kids? Why can't you just leave kids alone?
I've never played Roblox and I don't know any adult who does, but I might be living in my own bubble. Who knows?
So I just got this steak from Publix. And look at it. That's like, I don't know what that is. It's
Man, this shit very demanding. This whole industry, this whole system, all this shit demanding. All this shit ran off of money. All this shit do not mean nothing. It's very demanding. This whole music industry is very demanding. As I saw the crosses in the Jesus piece, I just grabbed it. It really don't mean nothing. And as I say, this shit demanding. I'm very demanding. Man, there's a lot of devils that's coming in and out my door.
He knows the industry is demonic, but it looks like he's content where he's at.
So apparently Ariel, the mermaid Ariel from the Disney movie, she now has a perfume and Bath and Body Works. Let me read this to you. It says, Disney's Ariel has a signature fragrance. Bath and Body Works released a collection inspired by Ariel, which includes a perfume with notes of sea salt breeze, golden citrus, and coral waters, capturing her adventurous spirit and love for the ocean. Additionally, Defy Me created a perfume for Ariel with notes of citrus, jasmine, lilac, tonka bean, coconut, and driftwood. The scent is designed to evoke the energy of the ocean air with notes like sea salt breeze, golden citrus, and coral waters. The fragrance is meant to embody Ariel's adventurous spirit and love for the sea. And listen to the Defy Me description. Listen to this. In collaboration with Disney, okay? It says, the fragrance aims to capture Ariel's adventurous spirit and love for the human world. It features a blend of citrus, floral, beachy notes, including neroli, bergamot, jasmine, lilac, coconut, and driftwood. Okay, now listen to this. This perfume is designed to evoke Ariel's sense of wanderlust and desire to explore the human world. Now, I don't know how many times I gotta say this about these mermaids, but I'm gonna keep exposing this. I know it irritates certain people. I know people get triggered by this. Like, no, it's not that serious. You guys are being dramatic. You guys are overreacting. But listen to what they are saying here. They are captivating Ariel's spirit, okay, and putting it into a fragrance. Her desire to explore the human world. Are you kidding me? This is so demonic. If anybody goes to buy this perfume, you will absolutely be bewitched by mermaid spirits.
So the radiation exposure that we experienced was for 4 years. We lived up there. They knew when they did the assessment that our air was contaminated, our soil was contaminated, and our drinking water was contaminated. So the water that my food was cooked in was contaminated. The water that I showered in every day was contaminated. Worse, is the fact that my wife had 3 miscarriages. One of the guys that I worked with, his wife had 7. All 4 of my children were born with birth defects or significant health problems. It's not their fault. I'm not saying it's mine, but I brought it home. It was my DNA that was permanently altered from low-dose, long-term ionizing radiation exposure. I am asking that Congress please allow us to get the benefits that every other veteran has earned.
The Tesla Diner.
I'm sorry, but that's not enough popcorn. He gotta get an extra scoop in there.
This is the new Tesla Diner drive-in restaurant in Hollywood. It's you come in your Tesla, and as you can see, they have like 30 charging stations in the parking lot. You can watch a drive-in movie from upstairs. This is the upstairs of the restaurant. And then there's another parking lot over there with about 50 charging stations. This is the spillover parking lot where they have an additional 50 charging stations. These are solar-powered trash cans. So you just put your foot down to open them, and they're trash compactors. This is what it looks like inside here. From the corner.
Right now we are currently full. We have no more parkings available or chargers.
Like, how do you know your food's ready?
We have no
idea.
idea.
The app is not launching right now, it's still programming. Because they let me order food like in the app right now.
It actually let you order now?
Yeah. That person's didn't get in there. Okay, cool.
So the Tesla Diner is open today, and apparently this feature is not available to everyone, but for some reason it was available for our Tesla. We ordered our food for pickup, which was kind of nice because the line was longer than Hollywood In-N-Out. Inside of the diner was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty futuristic. And if you wanted to go upstairs, you can take the elevator or the stairs. This is the view from the upstairs balcony, and you can even see your car charging. They even sell Tesla Diner merch upstairs, and they have a robot serving you popcorn. Their burgers came in these little Cybertruck boxes, which I thought was really cute. We also got some epic bacon and french fries. The burger was okay. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's no In-N-Out. This picture of Elon is hilarious. Anyways, this entire experience took us about 20 minutes, so it wasn't—
I gotta be honest, I'll never be in the market for a Tesla, but that looks like a pretty cool experience. Wow, wow, wow.
Barcelona.
Wow, jeez.
Ano sa api bas? Kebasar api. Bro. Wah, kasihan ibu dan anak satu masih di kapal. Ya Allah.
I'd rather deal with Carnival poop cruise than this.
Alexa, what happens in 2028?
On May 16, 2028 at 4:03 p.m., the ZRV16 virus is accidentally released in the UK, sparking the beginning of the zombie apocalypse.
Sometimes I think it's best not asking Siri or Alexa any questions.
Did a Hindu chant cause the Boogosphere to respond? Yeah, a Hindu chant caused the Boogosphere to respond. Some researchers studying the Boogosphere did some baseline tests, and as you can see, they were getting 0 here on their various instruments, and they were using multiple instruments and all getting 0 on there. Nothing was popping up on their instruments. They produce some tones for the Boogosphere, and it responds in a mild way.
No doubt. I think the test is satisfactory. 2 kilohertz. It's ear-piercing, doctor. Yes, I'm careful with my ears.
Then they bring in the lady that sings the Hindu mantra, this lady right here. And all their instruments just started lighting up. I love the expression on his face. He's just like, yeah, this is real. This is happening. Love it. Love it.
The sphere gave us responses that were, as you have seen, truly surprising. And the most important thing is that we repeated the experiment 1, 2, 3 times, and we managed to find patterns in the sphere's response, especially in the chanting of the mantra.
And here's what the lady who was doing the Hindu chant had to say about the chants themselves.
So when I learned about the sphere, I thought it must be like the Bimanas. And from all the studies that had been done and that I saw on television, I thought this must work like the Bimanas. So I had this urgent need to tell it mantras to see if it was like this ancient technology that is in the books of the Mahabharata. I chose some mantras that are about opening the intellect of those of us who are involved in the research so that we can understand it better. At least for me, there is no doubt that the sphere can make an artifact like the ancient Bimanas from 5,000 years ago. What are Bimanas? The Bimanas are these levitating ships that are found in the Vedas, in the Mahabharata and in the Puranas, where they talk about how in the past there were battles where nuclear bombs were threatened. Approximately 5,500 years ago, these types of spheres appeared in the skies that were like watchmen. They were actually watching over situations, as if they were a type of angel. I took the opportunity to say the mantras and we did get an answer that for me is irrefutable. I mean, I even felt the answer in my heart. I felt very connected to it. When my heart raced, she raced, or when she raced, my heart raced too. I mean, it was like a very strong connection, honestly.
Is your eye okay? What happened to your eye? I noticed there's a bruise there.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't anywhere near France, so.
What does that mean?
No,
I didn't notice.
First Lady of France. And I was just horsing around with Lil X, and I said, "Go ahead, punch me in the face," and he did. Turns out, even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was X that did that?
Yeah.
I can't believe he said his son did that.
First, God exists. Second, we are in a simulation. 100%, I believe. As mentioned before, assuming that AI or AGI, ASI continue to advance, just like we will be able to create highly advanced virtual realities, then I consider it is likely that we ourselves exist within a simulation created by a higher dimensional being. With this approach, we will be able to understand the concept of ultimate reality or God. Please note that I hold a bachelor's degree in theology from Yonsei University from South Korea, which is the #1 private university in Asia according to QS University's ranking. But I am not religious, but spiritual, which is the #1 private university in Asia according to QS University's ranking. But I am not religious, but spiritual. President Donald Trump believes in God as well. Trump said, "Faith is more powerful than government, and nothing is more powerful than God." I agree with him, and I love this statement. Lastly, I am not anti-atheist. I respect anti-atheists and their opinion. And there is no need to be anti-theist, even if you are an atheist. We must respect each other. That's all. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day. Thank you.
The Old Testament, written in Hebrew, taught him how to summon UFOs. When the prophet started praying for a sighting, I wasn't exactly convinced.
I pray, O Yahweh, that you send a sighting so that they know that I am not mentally ill. I am not a false prophet.
A white speck. Then another sighting.
There it is. I got it.
Photojournalist Jonathan Hawkins locks in on it. Let's take a closer look here. It's an orange sphere that appeared out of nowhere. I can see it clear as day. In fact, it's bright.
I can't believe this.
It's moving pretty fast.
It's going to Nellis Air Force Base. It wants to be seen.
We called Nellis to see what these things might be. Guess what? They didn't call us back.
It's going back up in space.
Prophet Yahweh isn't concerned. He says it'll be back. And I'm still not quite sure what those things were. Now, if I didn't see this for myself, I probably would have just laughed this whole thing off.
I pray to God for the important things in life, but to pray to God for a UFO sighting is crazy.
In a world first, a spider has been genetically edited to produce fluorescent red silk. One step closer to... Scientists have successfully bred a modified spider using the gene editing technology CRISPR-Cas9. This is effectively a cut-and-paste tool for DNA editing. It can recognize specific locations on a genetic sequence and then uses the cutting enzyme Cas9 to snip DNA in that location so genes can be repaired, inserted, removed. In this case, researchers inserted a fluorescent protein gene into unfertilized spider eggs. To do this on such a small scale, they had to anesthetize the spiders with carbon dioxide to stop them from moving during the injection, hold them in place by hand, and make sure to avoid vital organs. Considering CRISPR-Cas9 has never been used on spiders before, this could have so many applications, like increasing the strength of spider silk, which is already stronger than steel.
What I think is going on here with these types of creatures that we're interested in on your show is that they have certain energetic properties that make them very difficult to study easily and to keep track of physically as a normal, ordinary physical animal. They're able to modulate their frequency in ways that either give them the properties of a metamaterial. A metamaterial is something that's studied a lot in physics and material sciences, engineering, which is these very small scale structures. They exist like in the wings of a Morpheus butterfly that modulate light, that make the Morpheus butterfly look blue. but it's not actually blue. It's just modulating light as it reflects off its wings only to emit the blue light. So it looks blue to us, and that's called a metamaterial. And these are very important materials in the defense contracting industries because metamaterials are used to provide cloaking for aircraft. And there's always the idea of providing cloaking for individual soldiers with a type of bodysuit that would make light either go around them or make their bodysuit modulate the light in some way to make them appear invisible. So these cryptid type creatures that we're all familiar with now in 2025 might not have been so familiar 10 years ago, but now thanks to podcasts like this and many others, we're hearing these stories. It just seems to me that we're dealing with life forms that know how to modulate either their own frequency. There's the other argument, they're modulating our perception, that they're not really disappearing, but they're appearing to disappear from the point of view of our eyes and ears, which we know is very limited frequencies in the entire electromagnetic spectrum. One way or another, they're able to modulate electromagnetic frequencies to either literally disappear from our sight or maybe even literally disappear from our ordinary sense reality. But it's not as far-fetched as you would think, given that we already have technologies that can do this. Lockheed Martin has talked about this with coherent matter wave beam technology to create invisibility and teleportation, cloaking.
Talking about government hiding things, this one's creepy. There's this thing called Operation Often. It was within MK Ultra. It was hidden from the majority of government until 1975 to 77. The FBI director basically destroyed all evidence of MK Ultra. In December of 2024, they just released 1,200 documents. It gave more light to this thing called Operation Often. Operation Often was a joint U.S. Army and CIA project launched in the late 1960s. They went full in on hiring Satanists, witches to study and see if they could weaponize the paranormal. This is not made up. These documents came out saying that they were doing this. There are even reports that this program had files on spiritual possessions, poltergeist activity, and demonic entities.
Bro.
This is the U.S. government saying, like, let's research this and see if we can weaponize it. This was at the height of the Cold War. They're just trying to figure out anything to weaponize.
They're looking at spirituality as like a science to be harnessed. Because they know it's real. People think black magic, witchcraft, all this stuff is baloney. But I'm like, if the government, they've been looking, now they're like, now we're going to conduct a study on it.
It just makes it that much creepier because the supernatural world is real. Demons are real. Our government was actively inviting that stuff in. It's just dark, you know? That's why we need Jesus.
It's ironic that the government would want to do studies on black magic and witchcraft when their members are heavy participants. But that's it for the video. Thanks for kicking with me as always. But before you leave, hit the like button and sub up. Also, all these videos are for entertainment purposes. It's always fun dissecting those to determine if they're real or fake. But that's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.